When you're trying to heal from Lyme disease, there's certain foods that you just need to avoid. Okay, when I first found out I had Lyme disease, I immediately cut these foods out. And I know that doing the same will change the game for you and allow you to heal your body from the inside out. Now, these foods are on the avoid list. Please do not eat these foods if you're trying to heal your body. It just doesn't work, whether you're trying to heal from Lyme disease or anything really, cancer, heart disease, malaria, you name the disease, and these foods will harm you. These foods will not help in your journey to heal the body. So the first one is inflammatory foods, okay? Foods that cause inflammation. Common foods that cause inflammation are processed food, junk food, and any food that causes a sensitivity issue inside of your gut. Now, one common food that causes food sensitivities or low-grade allergies is gluten. There's a certain percentage of people, there's about 10% of people, which is very high actually, are actually allergic to gluten completely. If they eat it, they will get very, very sick. They could even die. So those 10% obviously should avoid gluten, but then there's another about 20 to 30% of people, that's right, they're saying about 30 to 40% of people are gluten sensitive. They get inflammation when they eat the protein gluten, which comes from wheat and wheat products such as breads and pastas. So you may want to just cut that out just in case, because like I said, 30 to 40%, that's a large percentage of people. So out of 100 people, 30 or 40 people will be sensitive to gluten, and it will cause inflammation in their body if they eat things like bread, pasta, and cereals. So if you are trying to heal from Lyme disease, my recommendation is always just lose the gluten, okay? I'm sure you can survive without bread for a little while your body repairs, rebuilds, and heals itself, okay? So I cut out gluten in my Lyme disease journey, and it helped me a ton, right? Because again, there's no reason really to take that risk that you're in the 60 to 70% of people that don't have any sensitivity issues with it versus, the people that do. So you might as well cut it out just to be 100% sure. Now, there's other foods people have low-grade allergic reactions to or low-grade sensitivities to, and common ones are, seafood and shellfish, and anything that you think of that commonly triggers allergic reactions can also cause a sensitivity in yourself. And there's really no way to know what you're 100% allergic to without taking an allergy test, which is 100% okay. If you're willing to do that, I would actually suggest it. If you're not willing to do that, that's fine too. Just cut out the common ones for a period of time. I would say about 3 months, and let your body heal, and then maybe you can start reintroducing those foods and see what happens. It's always important to see what happens and experiment with things to see how your body feels, but only do it one thing at a time. Okay, so that's the first thing, is any inflammatory foods and foods that cause low-grade allergic reactions or sensitivities in the body. And those are going to be different person to person, so it's up to you to experiment and figure it out. But you should always start with the ones that have the biggest percentage of people that it's affecting. The second thing that you should avoid if you're trying to heal the body from the inside out is alcohol. Okay? Now I know that's no fun. You probably want to go out, have some fun on the weekends, or go to a 4th of July party coming on up here. But the truth is, alcohol can dampen the immune system, okay? And it can also cause inflammation in the body. It also breaks down protein in the body. So if you're eating protein and building muscle, it actually will hurt your gains. Not that that has really much to do with healing from Lyme disease. I just thought I'd throw it out there. But the main reason that I look at alcohol as a negative when you're trying to heal is because it has a negative effect on your sleep, okay? I know that you might be thinking, wait a second, I usually pass out when I drink alcohol. How can it be bad for my sleep, right? And that's totally understandable and why you would think that. And I used to think the same thing. But when you look it up and do the research, the Sleep Foundation talks about this all the time. They say that if you drink low amounts of alcohol, your sleep quality will be affected by about 9.3%. Okay, so your sleep quality goes down by 9.3% with a low amount of alcohol. The reason for that is because, yes, it helps you go to sleep faster, but as your liver starts breaking down the alcohol, your liver enzymes start to work their magic, it can actually have the opposite effect. It takes away from your sleep quality. It wakes you up. It makes it so that you can't reach those deep non-REM sleep states. So we really want to try and avoid alcohol. Now, with low amounts of alcohol, like I said, 9.3%, moderate amounts of alcohol, it's about 24% downgrade in your sleep quality. And if you have high amounts of alcohol, it's about 39% downgrade in your sleep quality. So the main reason that I like to tell my clients to avoid alcohol when they're healing from Lyme disease is because of the effect that it has on our sleep. And if you've learned anything from watching this channel, it's something I say all the time: sleep is the number one most highest priority on your list. Sleep needs to be paramount to your healing journey because sleep is way more important than people give credit for, and they usually just ignore it altogether. But sleep is really the key to living a healthy lifestyle, whether you're healing from Lyme disease, just trying to build muscle and lose weight, or if you just want to be healthier and have that longevity, live a longer, healthier life, have more years in your life and have more life in your years. Sleep is the most important thing, the number one most important thing. So we have to prioritize sleep when it comes to our healing journey, and alcohol messes up our sleep. Not to mention, usually when we're drinking alcohol, a lot of times you end up staying up later, right? You're at the party goes till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., the party lasts longer, and you stay out drinking alcohol until later hours. A lot of people have said, and studies have shown, that the hangover feeling that we get from alcohol is often mostly attributed to the loss of sleep rather than the actual alcohol itself. So that just goes to show it messes up our sleep when we drink alcohol. So let's avoid it during the healing journey, and maybe have one drink on someone's birthday or on a celebration type thing, but don't stay up late drinking, and don't drink excessively or drink every day. So the next thing that we need to avoid if we're trying to heal the body from the inside out is the dreaded high fructose corn syrup. Okay, it is found in things like soda and candies. Mainly though, I'm just going to focus on soda. The reason I want to focus on soda is because it's just filled with high fructose corn syrup, and there's really no other reason to drink it. Now, the bad part about high fructose corn syrup is it gives your body an unnatural amount of fructose, which is a sugar found in fruits and vegetables. But an unnatural amount of it causes excess weight gain, it causes obesity, and it just slows everything down, messes up pretty much everything in your body. And the thing is, there's no nutrients in it at all. There's no necessary nutrients that our body needs. It's just a waste of space, a waste of calories, and it just really can jack up your body in a way that you may not even understand if you haven't taken the time off of high fructose corn syrup. And the thing is, our body gets pretty addicted to that feeling of excess sugars in the blood, and it can lead to terrible outcomes. It's been directly linked to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, fatty liver disease, and so much more. We know for a fact that you need to get high fructose corn syrup out of your life if you want to be a healthy individual. And if you're trying to heal Lyme disease, but you're drinking soda, it's just going to be that much harder. So make sure to get rid of soda and candies and things that have high fructose corn syrup in it. You can check the label of the food if you don't know if it does or not. Just as a little story to kick this over the edge, I want to tell you a little story. So when I was a young kid, I was probably about 13, 14, I was very overweight. I weighed over 200 pounds, and at that age, that was heavier than everybody in my grade, everybody on my soccer team, my baseball teams. I was the fat kid, right? And that might be why I lean so much towards health today, because of the journey I went through with health at a young age. And then the journey that I went through again when I found out I had Lyme disease. But the thing is, when I decided I'm going to lose weight, I decided that when I was about 13 or 14 years old, I'm going to get thin. I'm going to get muscular, thin, and healthy. And the first thing I did was I cut soda out of my diet. And guess what happened? All I did was replace soda with water. Well, first of all, I had like some weird withdrawal type symptoms where my body was craving that soda so much. Now that could be from the caffeine, it could be from the sugar. Either way, it could, sugar being high fructose corn syrup. And by the way, if you don't know, high fructose corn syrup is just really a low cost replacement for sugar so that they can make things sweet without spending a fortune on sugar cane, and instead spending it on corn, and they just take the sugars out of the corn and put it into there. So that's what high fructose corn syrup actually is. High fructose being sugar, corn syrup. So all that being said, I lost about 20 pounds just by replacing soda with water. It was the simplest thing ever. So simple that people may be deceived by it. And they may continue to drink their soda and continue to do this because it's just a drink. We don't think much of it, but it's filled with sugar and calories, and it actually makes it way harder for our body to do what it's supposed to do or to lose weight. So I lost 20 pounds just by switching that. And I'm talking about quickly, like within a week or a month. On top of that, I was exercising and all those things. But before I even got too deep into that physical exercise and that all of the other healthy habits that I built on top of that, I simply started by replacing soda with water, and I saw massive, massive results. The same thing can happen for you if you give it a try. So go ahead, cut the soda out of your life if you want to be healthy, and especially if you want to heal from Lyme disease. And finally, last but not least, and I do want to mention, this is not an exhaustive list of foods to avoid. The list is going to change depending on you personally. In the last video, we talked about the art and the science of nutritional coaching. So as you know, it's an individual, very unique journey to you. You may need to avoid other things besides this list, but these are things that people need to avoid, whether or not it's individual. It's just a society type thing where everybody should probably be avoiding these things if they want to be healthy. And in order to heal from something, the main thing is first just to get to a level of regular, healthy living, regular habits that aren't, hurting us. So we need to take away the habits that are hurting us as quickly as possible in order to start the ball in motion. And the last thing that I have is trans fats, okay? Trans fats found in snack foods, cakes, shortening, margarine and butters and fats. It's partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. And that is one way to know if you're eating trans fat or not. First of all, always read your food labels to make sure you're eating something worthwhile. And when you get to trans fats, know that in the United States, if there's less than 0.5 grams of trans fat inside the food, they don't have to label it. They can put 0 grams, okay? But that's why you always want to actually read the ingredients and look for partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. And if that's in it, then that means that there's trans fat in the food as well. Okay, and trans fats have no essential nutrients. They're not an important part of a diet. They harm us in many ways. They've been linked directly to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and all sorts of other health issues. So avoid it at all costs. You do not need trans fat in your life. There are other healthy fats that you do need, like fats from avocados and fats from maybe olives and olive oil, right? Fats that come from healthy whole foods, like even fish. Those are positive. But we need to avoid trans fats at all costs. So read your packages, know what has trans fat and what doesn't, and avoid it as much as you can during your healing journey and beyond if you want to continue to be a healthy, powerful individual who thrives and who just has all that energy and that focus and that power, for lack of a better word. And in my opinion, health is power. When you have full control of your body and you feel like you have just thriving energy throughout the day, there's nothing that can touch you. That is power. So those are the things that I would avoid at all costs during a healing journey of any kind, let alone one with Lyme disease. So go ahead, implement those steps. And as far as other things to avoid or add into your diet, it's a lot of it depends on you, specifically your individual genes, your traits, your micronutrient levels, and all of the other factors in your life, along with your goals and what you're trying to achieve. So hopefully this video helps you out, starts you down the right path, and allows you to start cutting out the things in your life that are hurting you and keeping you from your healing journey. And I hope this video helps you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.